Welcome back. We were discussing 2014 previous year's question paper ethics. Section A we have covered in the first video, and in the second video we are taking up the case studies. Let's get into the discussion of this. There are 7 or 8 case studies are there. We will finish the case studies also. 2014 UPSC ethics paper. So let's take up the case studies. The first case study, what I would suggest is that pause the video and go through with the question and then come back, or I'll give a minute or two, read the question and we can talk about it. So take a minute, I'll come back again. The case study is talking about very simple thing. Here it is economic development versus environment. Here nowadays increasing thrust on economic development around the globe. At the same time there is an increasing concern on environment degradation also. Now there is a conflict between developmental activity and environmental quality. Now it is neither feasible to stop curtail economic development nor it is advisable to keep degrading the environment. So we have to balance. There is a conflict between environment protection and economic development. This is the conflict. Now the question is that discuss some of the feasible strategies which could adopted to eliminate this conflict. The conflict is between environment and the economic development. Now how do you eliminate this conflict? That is the question. And conflict which would lead to sustainable development. We have to focus on sustainable development, and you suggest some of the strategies. This is the question. Here the dilemma is between environment protection versus economic development. Let's move ahead and let's see how exactly we can balance these things, how exactly we can remove this conflict between these two things, right? So it is the dilemma between environment protection and economic development, right? Now let's see the strategies. The first strategy is that focus on qualitative utilitarianism. What is utilitarianism? Maximum benefit to maximum number of people. Here there is a conflict, the dilemma between environment and economic. Now focus on maximum benefit, whether it is environment protection or whether it is economic progress. Which one has the maximum protection? At the same time, don't compromise with justice aspect of other thing. We are focusing on qualitative utilitarianism. Even the minority aspect is also taken into the consideration. So it is not just utilitarianism, it is JS Mill, the qualitative utilitarianism. Implement the qualitative utilitarianism to find the maximum utility, and make sure no compromise with the justice aspect. So even if you are focusing on one aspect, either environment or you are focusing on economic, but make sure that while you are focusing on economic development, you are not compromising with environment, you are not giving full on environment, you are not supporting full on environment destruction. That is not the case here. So it can be charted out carefully considering protection of environment. So balance of both can be done. By doing this, you can eliminate the conflict. This is one strategy. The next strategy is that the model of sustainable economic development. What is sustainable economic development? In the sustainable economic development, it means that you are focusing on present generation. Fine, you are using resources, but at the same time, you are not going to compromise with future generation also. So resources will be handled in a sustainable way that you can use it now, you can use it for future. So you follow the sustainable economic development model. This is also another strategy to deal with the conflict here. Again, it focuses on protection of resources, efficient utilization of these resources. And another thing is that you can go for the concept of compensatory of afforestation. See, you are given you have said yes to a particular economic project there, particular project in a forest area where you have to, there is no other option, you have to implement there only By doing that, this is going to impact the environmental perspective. How do you deal with it? By going through the compensatory afforestation. So this is the model of sustainable economic development. You follow this. By following this also you can eliminate the conflict, right? And the third, see what happens if you follow sustainable economic model. This is going to lead to the inclusive development. Inclusive development, you are including everything, whether it is human beings, nature, animals, everything, and even within human beings also there is no social inequality. So this will lead to the inclusive development, and eventually this will lead to this ensures that environment protection also happens. So a sustainable development model, this leads to the inclusive development leads to the protection of environment. This is the second way. And the third way is that focus on research and innovation. This research and innovation is with respect to green technology or pro-planet technology. Green technology, focus on green technology, maybe fuel cells, use renewable energies, carbon sequestration. These are the new technologies. Focus on these technologies. See, innovations are important for the development. Scientific progress eventually lead to the economic progress, right? In that scientific progress, make sure that you're progressing, your scientific innovation are focusing on green technology. By doing this also you can eliminate this conflict between environment and the economic progress. So this is another way. So scientific development is required for economic growth, but if this scientific development is pro environment, then it is a win-win situation. So there is no conflict between environment and economic development, right? Next, the next point is that in environment impact assessment, you are going with some economic project. Make environment impact assessment mandatory. Usually what is happening in our country is nobody is taking this EIA very seriously. One particular company, they are implementing some project and they have conducted some EIA and they have published some assessment. But what is happening at this point of time is even other companies, they are just copy pasting this assessment. Whatever the company did in 10 years ago, the same thing, by editing some report, they are just dumping the same assessment report. See, this is wrong. Each and every project which has significant influence on environment, they have to go through with assessment report, and assessment report, it has to suggest if there is a negative influence on environment, they have to suggest a way to rectify that also. So make sure that EIA is mandatory and the suggestions are implemented for the project. So by doing this, now also you can remove the conflict between environment and the development, economic development, right? Proper corrections should be made to these projects. And finally, best international policies and programs should be considered, especially if you look at the European countries. The compromise, they are not compromising environment protection for the economic development. They have made policies in a way that both economic progression, environment protection, they are complementing each other. So that kind of policies we should also implement in our country. So policies focusing on water bodies, policies focusing on glaciers, protection of mangroves, these should be inculcated. Especially the European countries, learn from these European countries and implement similar policies from our perspective, from Indian perspective. So this is the fifth point here. And make sure that you are conserving economically fragile area. Make sure that if some project is going on there, protection care should be 100% to these economically fragile areas like Himalayan region, Western Ghats. Make sure that there is no compromise of protection of these values. So balancing should be there. How do you do it? By learning from these European countries. And the next one is involving the expertise of international body. There are so many international body, UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, and even for that matter World Bank also giving detailed analysis with respect to environmental perspective. So take advantage, take advice of these international bodies, implement these suggestion advices in these kind of projects also. So this is going to balance both environment and economic development, right? These are some of the strategies. There are 6 feasible strategies have been mentioned. This is going to eliminate that conflict between environment and the economic development, right? So this covers the first case study. Let's move to the next case study. Go through with the case study. I'll give you guys a minute or two. Pause the video and go through with this. I'll come back and let's have an explanation, detailed discussion on this case study. See, this case study is talking about one of your close friends. He is aspiring civil service. He is preparing for civil service examination, and he has some doubts with respect to this examination, with respect to civil services. Now he is asking you doubts. There are 4 doubts have been asked, and what suggestions do you give to these doubts? That is the case study. So now your friend is asking you the question, and he has some doubts, and he is asking you, and you have to clarify these doubts. The first thing is that, see, your friend is asking now that, see, if I am ethical, especially he is telling that I have seen people who are ethical, and ethical people, their life, it is quite difficult. The system, it is making their life difficult, and even the career also difficult. So if I am ethical, my life is going to be very difficult, and my career is also going to be difficult, because entire system is corrupt. Now if I am honest, if I am ethical, it is going to be difficult for me. Now what I am thinking is, I want to be pragmatic. Pragmatic is that I want a life where there is little resistance. I don't want resistance from other people, from my work environment. I want to be pragmatic. In my pragmatic way, whatever little good I can do as a civil servant, I will do it. So this is his point of view. Then what do you suggest? Now he is telling that if I am honest, then I am going to face a lot of obstacles in my career. I don't want that. I want a simple working culture, and in my way, I will do whatever small good things I can do to the civil service. So this is what he is telling. Now what do you suggest? What is your suggestion to your friend, right? See, he is telling that if I am honest, my life is difficult, my career is difficult, even my family members are also going to face the difficulty. This is the thing. See, here he is telling that I want to focus on my happiness, I want to be happy, I want to face the least resistance as a civil servant. Now the thing is, you are focusing on your happiness. This is not bad to focus on one's happiness. Of course everybody wants to be happy, we want to be happy, but here he want to compromise his values to be happy. See, that is not right thing. You want to be happy, and how are you making yourself happy? By compromising your values. This is not right. And another thing is, this is not some other job, this is a civil services. Civil servant, being a civil servant, your every single decision, this is going to impact the people, their lives are directly going to be impacted. So if you focus on your happiness, compromising with these values, this goes against the core philosophy of civil services. So this is not the right option. Especially being a civil servant, the priority should be the nation first. See, individual happiness, if you prioritize that, you are not fit to be a civil servant here, because if you focusing on individual happiness, compromising values, you are impacting the lives of the people in that district. You are an IAS officer, district magistrate, and you are compromising with values, then the entire district, people in that district, they are going to burn that, they are going to face the situation. So this is not the right option here. Being pragmatic in civil services for selfish reasons. Selfish reason is that I don't want to face the resistance. For that reason, I am compromising it. You are pragmatic for the selfish reasons, that is going to impact that is going to affect the citizens of the country in a negative way. So this is not a feasible way of looking into the things. I am telling him this is not right thing to do. Compromising values to be happy, this is not the right thing. See, if you want to have that resistance free life, then you could have gone to some private sector where there is no resistance from politics, no resistance from your higher authority, or it is in a very comfortable way you can lead your life. What is the necessity to become a civil servant? See, that is my advice. So first, this is wrong. That is my advice with respect to first question. And the next question is, see, he asked me the second question, second doubt is that, see, if I am honest, what difference does it make? All the people around me, they are dishonest, they are making money, they are corrupt, and you are telling me to be honest, then what is the point of it? What change does it make? What difference does it make? That is the second question. Now and even if I am honest, it is ineffective. It does not make any sense, because everybody around me is corrupt, everybody around me is dishonest, everybody is self-centered. Then what difference does it make? That is the second question. And second question is that, see, every change, it starts from a small step. Every big reformation starts from single person. So even the black movement, the civil rights movement in other country, and even for that matter untouchability, widow remarriage, all these things started from single individual. Then the people with similar mindset, they came together, they led the reform. Eventually the reformation happened at the social level. So everything starts from a small step. And if you are telling that I cannot do it, what change does it make? This is a wrong notion of understanding things, and it clearly shows that there is a lack of dedication, there is a lack of commitment. You just want to escape it and you are giving reasons for it. So it clearly shows that there is a lack of commitment, there is a lack of dedication to the public services. See, if you have a good intentions and your work is also good, see, whether it is today or tomorrow, it is going to help you. It is going to, see, somewhere if it is not going to help you also, this is going to help the other people, because you are a district magistrate, your decision is going to help other people. So good intention, good deeds are never a waste. It is going to help the people, especially being a public servant. And this kind of situation, it indeed a test of your moral character, how strong you are, how do you handle these situations. These are the real test of your moral character. Compromising at these situations, this is clearly shows that there is a lack of moral principles in you. Clearly you are compromising with that, and you are entering the civil services. Now you are aspiring one, you are going to enter into it. So make yourself, let you be the change what you want to see. Let's start a new beginning. So this will be the second advice. He has asked me the question and I have given him the second advice. And both the things, if you look at it, these are all hypothetical situations. See, he has not faced this situation. He is thinking in his head. By thinking, he is formulating a conclusion. So, these are all hypothetical situations. You don't have to worry about it. When you face it in real, then you think about it. Hypothetically, you are thinking and you are moving towards corruption. You are moving towards compromise. See, this is not the right way of approaching things. Right? This is a second question. Now, the third question is, he tells that ethics, one side there is ethics, another side there is economic progress. If you focus on ethics, we are going to compromise with the economic development. This is going to impact the economic progress of the country. This is the third question posed by my friend. Now, the thing is, there is no proof that ethics is going to impact the economic progress in a negative way. Actually, it is opposite is true. If you have values, if you have morals, that is going to enhance the economic development. Usually what happens, you are a public servant, if you don't have the values, even if you are efficient, this efficiency is for your benefit. It is not for the social benefit. So, foundational values are very much important for the economic progress. See, ethics is not against economic development, it is complementary. Both go together. You have to have fundamental values. If you don't have foundational values, then you are going to compromise. Then there will be dishonesty, there will be corruption. And usually what happens, by doing all these things, you are telling that economics and the ethics, they don't go together. Somehow you are rationalizing your unethical behavior. So you are giving reasons for your behavior. You are telling that, say, I am compromising my value just for the economic development of the country. If I don't compromise, then economic development is going to stand. For that, see, you are rationalizing this your immoral behavior. This is also wrong. Rationalizing immoral behavior. You are rationalizing your immoral behavior. See, another thing for the second point, you can give an example of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The commitment he had towards the depressed class till after independence also, he was working for the depressed class only. So that is the commitment, that is the dedication, that shows your character, how dedicated you are. Here your dedication should be towards the nation's cause, your dedication towards should be the welfare of the people, not for self gratification, right? And the third point, economics and ethics, whatever you are saying, there is no proof to it. Economics, it has to be in complementary with ethics. You are knowledgeable, very efficient, but you don't have this value, there will be corruption, there will be nepotism, there will be favoritism. So values are very much important for economic development, economic progression. And then the fourth question. The fourth question is that he tells that what is wrong in taking small gratification or small favors from others. See, these kind of small gratifications, small favors, this is going to motivate people, so that people are going to work towards the development of the country. This is what he says. Again, this is also wrong understanding. Values, usually the concept, there is a concept of unity of virtues. It means that either you have all the virtues or you don't have any virtues. Aristotle also talks about it. Plato, they also talked about the same thing. Even the Socrates talked about the same thing. Either you have all the values or you don't have any values. You cannot say that I have kindness, compassion, but I don't have the value of integrity. No, that is not going to work. Either you have all the values or you don't have any values. You have compromised with everything. So the concept does not work here. So values follow the principles of unity of virtues, right? Which means that there will be either all the values or no virtues here. See, you are accepting small gratifications. Usually what happens, this will push you or lead towards bigger gratification, and this will move towards more corruption. See, this is not make you motivated. In turn, this is going to make you demotivate. This is going to motivate to be more corrupt. This is not going to motivate towards economic development. That you need to understand. Accepting small gratification clearly shows that lack of moral principles. Either you have moral principles or you don't have moral principles. There is no one moral principle you have, I don't have another moral principle. This is not going to happen, and this will impact ethics in both personal relationship as well as the public relationship. And small gratification is not going to create motivation. In turn, it will drive towards the corruption, right? Ultimately, it is the intention that matters. Here, if you want to get a small gratification, it means that your intention is not ethically, morally correct. So intention matters. So these are the 4 questions he has asked, and I have given my suggestion. I have given my point of view. Now, question asked about critically analyze above points. We have analyzed the above points, and on the basis of this analysis, what will be your advice to your friend? What will be my advice? Now, my final advice is that it clearly shows that there is a lot of confusion. You don't understand what is efficiency, what is economic development. You don't understand what are moral principles and what are how exactly compromising of these moral principles leads to it. There is clear confusion is there. Now, what I suggest you is that you stick on to one approach. That one approach is that means based approach. Means based approach. See, you're talking about if I go with ethical principles, it will impact the economic development. So you're thinking about consequences. This is what happening. You're thinking about hypothetical situation. You're thinking about consequences. What I would suggest is that focus on means based approach. Whatever every single step you take this step based on virtues, based on value. So that is first advice. Take your decision based on means based approach. Right. And the second thing is, whatever you are a public servant, your focus is not personal gratification. Your focus should be the public gratification. Your focus should be the social gratification. As long as you stick to the personal gratification, it will always be about you. It will always be about your happiness. Being a civil servant, it is not about you. It is not your happiness. It is about the social. It is about the happiness of the people. So that should be the focus. The second suggestion is that focus on your focus should be beyond the personal gratification, right? And the third thing, I clearly see that there is a misunderstanding of happiness, there is misunderstanding about the efficiency, there is a misunderstanding about the economic development. Now I give him proper clarification. What is happiness, what is efficiency, and what is economic development. So these basic understandings are false based on hypothetical situation. Now I guide him properly in this regarding, and I will tell him very simply. One thing is means based approach. Second thing I would tell is never compromise with code of conduct and code of ethics. Public administration, public service, civil services, they have certain code of conduct and code of ethics. You follow that. Don't think of anything else, just follow the code of conduct, code of ethics. Again, this following this also makes you a better civil servant, better public servant. So this is my suggestion, my advice to my friend. Right? I hope you understood. Let's move to the next case study. Next case study, take a minute or two. I will be back. See the next case study, it is talking about, see, you are an honest officer and you have been transferred to a remote village, and in that remote village, especially the department you have been transferred, there is a lot of corruption is going on, inefficiency, and people are not even doing their work. So this is the condition. You went there, you are an honest officer and you saw the situation and you are not happy about it. Now you understand that there are certain people who are behind all these things. Now first attempt, you gave them a warning. Warning is that I am going to take a disciplinary action if you don't mend your ways. That's the first warning. They did not care about this warning, and the second warning, and in the second move you gave them a show cause notice. Now they are worried. Now what they did is they filed a fake sexual harassment case against you. They got a one female employee, they convinced her and she filed a fake sexual harassment case in front of you, and this became very big news and it went to the media and all, and now the case went to the Women Commission. Now Women Commission has asked your explanation. This is the case study, right? Now there are 3 questions and you have to answer these 3 questions, and finally you have to take a possible way here. The first question is, give your explanation to the commission and go soft on disciplinary action. This is the first way of handling things. How do you handle things? There are 3 ways they have been given, and finally they have asked, beyond these 3 ways, is there any other options available? If at all available, you mention those options and evaluate those options, and finally you tell us what is the right way to handle these things or what you are going to follow. This is the thing. Now the first question, give your explanation to commission and go soft on disciplinary action. That is the first question, first option. See, usually what happens, give your explanation commission. Yes, I will give my explanation on commission because this is the legal, there is a legal obligation on me. This is the statutory body, Women Commission. I have to, being a public servant or being a citizen of our country, it is my responsibility to respect the constitutional body, statutory body. So it is a legal responsibility, ethical responsibility. I will give my explanation to the commission. And another thing is, I know that I am innocent, so I don't have to worry about it. I will go and I have to prove my innocence. In order to prove my innocence, I will give my clarification to the commission. This is one thing. And the second part of the question is talking about go soft on disciplinary action. No, going soft on disciplinary action, now I have to evaluate this option. Going soft, this is going to give the wrong signal. The people will think that because of this case he is going soft. So what it is going to do is, they realize that if we put these kind of cases on officers, they are going to go soft. So it is going to destroy their moral courage. So this is what they think. So what I would suggest is, don't go soft on this investigation. You carry on with the disciplinary action. Whatever the legal methodology is there, you follow that legal disciplinary action. Going soft on disciplinary action is not a right option. It looks like these incidents are impacting me negatively and making me weak. So no necessity to go soft on disciplinary action. Just follow the standard procedure. Whatever it is there, you follow the disciplinary action. This is first evaluation of first option. And the second option, ignore the commission and proceed firmly with the disciplinary action. See, ignoring the commission, it is not the right thing to do. I'll tell you why. Because I have not done anything wrong. So ignoring it is already in the media. Media already has taken up the case. Now ignoring it is going to give the fodder material that they are going to accuse me that he is ignoring the commission because he is wrong from his side. That is the reason he is not giving the explanation. So ignoring it is wrong. Legally also wrong. Ethically it is also not needed. Since I am not wrong, I don't have to ignore it. So when I am right, there is no necessity to ignore the commission. This will send the wrong signal to the higher authorities as well as the public. Since it is in media, even public also get the wrong idea about myself. So I am not going to, this is not the right option. Another thing is, proceeding firmly with disciplinary action is the correct thing. So I will go ahead with my disciplinary action. Whatever the legal structure is there, I am going to follow. Legal methodologies I am going to follow. So ignoring it is not the right thing. But the second aspect of this option, it is quite okay. So it is following the legal course of action. It shows the commitment and dedication. I am taking my disciplinary action following the legal way. So I have the dedication, commitment. Here, see, people are accusing me. There is a wrong accusation. Still, I am committed to the nation cause. I am committed for the welfare of the people. I want to correct this department. And this is not my personal benefit. It is not for my personal benefit. It is for the welfare of the people. It is for the country. So commitment and dedication is there. Even People are accusing me for doing my work, but still I am committed to it. There is a perseverance, there is a commitment, there is a dedication. So this is with respect to second option. And the third option that is mentioned in the question is brief your higher ups, seek direction from them and act accordingly. This is also feasible option. Advantage of this particular option is that these people, my higher authority, they are experienced and they might have seen these kind of situation before also, and they know that what real situation in this department, so they know that. So their advice, this is going to be the guiding factor for me, and also there is a different point of view, I get it from them, and this is also a neutral approach. See, I will get the neutral approach, different point of view, and also they have the experience and expertise, so that is also going to help me. So these are the advantages. They might have seen similar cases, these are the advantages. But on the negative side, it may delay the process, because I am asking, reply has to come from them, so it is going to take time and it is going to delay the process, and in that delay it is going to halt my disciplinary action also. This is one negative. And another negative is I am passing my responsibility to others, I am passing my responsibility to higher official. It clearly shows that I am questioning my own capability. So that is the negative side here. So it look like I am incapable of handling situation, right? This is the third one. And finally, suggest other possible options. What are the other possible options? Other possible options, I would think that maybe I get the testimony of other previous officers. There are honest officers who are working there, get the testimony of them and place this testimony in front of the media, so that already this news in the media, people will get to know that, your higher authorities will get to know that what exactly happening at the ground level. Women Commission will get to know that what exactly happening at the ground level. They will get the first hand picture, and somewhere from your first side, explanation given by you, it is going to reduce. Now the testimonies are there, previous officer, they act as supporting or a moral boosters for you. That is one thing. And the next option is that you can, anyhow this is in media, and you can collaborate with media, or you can contact the media, can do a spy operation, hidden cam operation, to get the things what exactly the real situation is. This is also possible. Even though briefing media, it is usually not encouraged, but at this point of time there is a wrong accusation on you. So in order to come out of it, this is your career also, this is your reputation also, you can go with these kind of hidden operations also. Even though I do not consider, usually we don't consider these as ethical, but this is also one of the option, right? So hidden cam operations, spy operations with media collaborations can also be considered, right? These are the ways. Now what is the best option here? See, the best option is that it is necessary to respect the legal aspect. The explanation I will give it to the Women Commission. I have to respect the legal aspect because I have a legal obligation, I have a moral obligation. So I am going to respect the legal aspect. Then I have to give my complete supporting to the proceedings of the commission. Yes, I will give that, and I will continue with my disciplinary action. Whatever the action is there, I will continue with that. But along with that, what I do is, I will see these things. I am handling situation on myself. I am not giving my responsibility to others. But at the same time, I will write it to the higher officials also. I will consider their advice also. See, if advice is convincing, I will implement in my procedure. It is not, then I am going to ignore it. So I will take their advice also. So here the flexibility also I am going to show it here. So I myself will handle the situation, but I will inform my superiors regarding the present situation and ask their advice. And if I am satisfied with their advice, I am going to incorporate these advice in my proceedings, in my conduct. So this is my advice with respect to this case. So this would be sufficient for this case study. 3 questions, finally your advice. So let's move to the next one. Go through with the question. I'll be back in a minute or two. So what is the case study here? Case study is you are a CEO of a company, and your company, you manufacture one electronic equipment, and this electronic equipment is required by a government department, and usually government department, they get these equipment from your company. Now also there is a tender, and you have to they have to get this equipment. Now the government department, some officials there, they are asking bribe from your company, and you are not ready to give a bribe. You know that because see, your product is good, cost wise it is very less compared to your competitors, but still even after best quality, better pricing, they are still asking a bribe from you. Now this is the situation. See, if you don't give the bribe, you are not going to get the order. If you don't get the order, you have to close down this production line. So this is what going to happen. Now there is a dilemma. You don't want to give the bribe. Now how do you handle this situation? Now if you don't give the bribe, close down of production. If you give the bribe, this goes against your value system. Now how do you handle this? So this is the thing. Now question is that valid arguments can be advanced both for giving the bribe and getting the order, and for the refusing to pay the bribe and risking the loss of order. So you have to give the argument. What is the positives of giving bribe, negatives of giving bribe? What is the positives of refusing bribe, negative of refusing bribes, and what those arguments could be, and could there be any better way to get out of this dilemma? There is a dilemma. Is there any other way? Either you have to give the bribe, or you have to say no to the bribe. Is there any other way, the third way, and what is that way, and how do you handle this? And if so, outline the main elements of the third way, pointing out its merits, only asking the merits. Right. Now clearly dilemma is between your professional integrity and future of the country. So dilemma is between professional integrity versus future of the company, personal values with respect to organizational future. Here personal values versus organizational interest. These are the dilemmas here. And another thing is, for every case study, write down the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders involved in it? Start with the stakeholders, flowchart you can write it, and then you talk about the dilemma, then get into the explanation of these questions. Right. Now let's talk about valid arguments in favor of bribe, valid arguments in favor of not giving the bribe, and finally let's see the solution. So arguments for giving bribe. What are the arguments? See, if I give the bribe, then if I don't give the bribe, the closing down happens. See, if I give the bribe, one thing, this is going to make sure that employees, they will be having a job security. So one thing, this will save the company, and it ensure job security of the employee. It is not about my values. Now it is about the people who are working here and their families. So if I give the bribe, then their job securities will be there, and they will be happy, their family members will be happy. This is one merit. And second thing is, see, I have to give this bribe only one time. Now already I am making this product best, the cost is good, everything is good. Now it is one time bribe I am giving, I am not compromising with anything else. So one time bribing, it is fine to save my company, to save job security of these people. It is fine to give one time bribing. See, we are standing for quality and costing, and we are not going to compromise with that. It is just that one time we are giving the bribe. This is another favor argument with respect to giving bribe. And the third is, see, if we don't give the bribe, some other company will give, and they will get the tender, and if they get that particular tender, they are going to compromise with quality, they are going to compromise with cost also. So it's better, let us give the bribe and let us work, let us give the best product. This is the third merit here. So if we don't give the bribe, somebody else will. At least our company, my company, I am not going to compromise with the quality of the product, I am not going to compromise with the cost of the product. So these are the arguments in favor of the bribe. Right. Now let's see the arguments against the bribe. See, in the question itself, in the case study itself, it has been mentioned, I don't want to give the way because I have certain value system. I don't want to compromise it. So against bribe is that I don't want to give bribe because certain moral principles, and this moral principles I don't want to compromise, one thing. And another thing is compromising with these moral principles, it is going to impact the long term sustainable growth. So if I think about my company from a long term perspective, so I'm not going to give the bribe, right? And the second thing is I have certain business ethics, I have certain professional ethics, and my company has certain code of ethics, and I am not going to compromise with the code of ethics, business ethics. This is the second argument. And the third is, if this news of giving bribe and taking this contract, it comes out, then the reputation of my company, it goes. So even if this tender, if I don't get it, it is still I can survive. If this production line closed down, I can survive with other production line. But here what happens, if the company's reputation goes out, then this is going to impact our company in a long term basis. So it is going to damage the reputation of the company. Whatever we have worked for this year, that is going to be damaged. So this is with respect to arguments against the bribe. Now, what is the possible solution? So how can I handle? Either I have to give, either I have to say no to it. Now how do I handle it? We understood saying no, what is the problem, saying yes, what is the problem here. Now possible solution is that, see, we are providing these equipments from many years and government know that quality is good. Now what you can do is, already you have certain connection with higher authorities. Now communicate this with the higher authorities of that department. Tell you, convince them that, see, we are giving this product to you and we are maintaining this, and still you are asking, your department people are asking bribe from us. So communicate this with the higher authorities. Let them think about it. Let them take a decision. So you know your company track record, put everything and let them take a decision. This is one thing. Another thing is, give anonymous complaint to whom? The vigilance agencies, because you are not doing anything wrong here, but still you have been penalized by asking bribe. Now give anonymous complaint against the officer who is asking the bribe with respect to vigilance agency. This is another option. And then I can use the social media also to showcase what is happening in the department, the corruption in the government department. This is also an option, feasible option. And finally, if I am in so much confusion what to do, take the virtue based approach. My decisions are based on values, my decisions are based on virtues. Virtue based approach. I am not bothered about the consequences. I am taking my decision based on these virtues, my course of action based on the values. So this is another way of handling situation, the possible solution, right? So what is the advantage of this? Advantage is that you are following ethical principles and you are not compromising with the values. So possible, long run, it is advantage. There is individual satisfaction, there is professional satisfaction, and even company reputation is also going to be saved. And finally, clearing government department by complaining against corrupt officials. So you are complaining with respect to this corrupt officials. This is going to clear the higher authorities. They are going to get to know that, and they are going to remove that person. If they remove that person, then the department is also going to be cleared by corrupt official. In the next time, it would be easier for you to place the tender or get the contract. This is another advantage. And another advantage is, finally, is the reputation of company. You can save the reputation of this company by following this possible solution. So the next one is the reputation. You can save the reputation of company. Right? These are the advantages, merits of possible solution, right? So let's move to the next case study. The next case study is go through with the case study. I'll be back. The case study is talking about a situation. There is a candidate, Rameshwar. He has cleared the examination and he was very excited to work for the government. He wanted to be a civil servant to serve the country, so he was very excited. But when he entered into a service, he got to know that situation is very bad. It is not as he expected. So situation is very bad. A lot of malpractices are going on in the system. So this is the situation. Now he talked about this with his senior, but senior told him to ignore all these things, just focus on your work. This is the advice given by the senior. Now situation is this. Now how do you handle these things? See, he is feeling uncomfortable. Rameshwar felt highly disillusioned and uncomfortable. He comes to you seeking your advice. Now he is asking your advice. He is not happy the situation in the services, in the civil services. Now what advice do you give? Indicate various options that you think are available in this situation. What are the various options available and how would you help him to evaluate these options and choose the most appropriate path to be adopted? And let's see the options Rameshwar has and what is the most feasible option here. Malpractice is going on the department and what can he do? That is the question here. His senior has told him to ignore it. Now what are the steps he has, what are the options he has? So the first option, just focus on your work and ignore the rest of the happening. As suggested by your senior, you just focus on your work and ignore the rest of the malpractices that is going on. That is the first option you have. And second option is that take disciplinary action against the irregularity. So take the disciplinary action against irregularity. That is the second option. Third is you make a detailed report and forward it to the department head. You are not happy with the senior advice. Now you are making a detailed report and you are forwarding it to the higher authorities, not to your senior, your higher authorities of the department. And the fourth option is suggest a transfer to some other department. See, I would suggest him to get a transfer to some other department. Since the department is very corrupt, a lot of malpractices are there, you cannot work properly, go to some other department. These are the four suggestions I give it to him. Let's see the pros and cons of these four suggestions. The first suggestion, the same as the senior suggested, ignore all these small practices, all these things, just focus on your work, just focus on your thing. That is the suggestion. Now see, if Rameshwar follow these things, what happens? He is ignoring everything, but by ignoring these things, see, he is working in that system. Everybody is corrupt, everybody is dishonest, and he tried to be good. Do you think it is possible? No, the work culture is very much negative. So this is going to impact him also. So ignoring negatives in the department going to create a very bad work culture, and bad work culture, you are not going to work there, and it makes you uncomfortable, it makes you uneasy, you cannot give your best. So it is going to impact you today or tomorrow. Bad work culture, it is going to impact you. So this is first thing. And another thing is, it is going to create crisis of conscience, clash of status. Crisis of conscience is that you want to give your 100%, you want to work for the people, but you are listening to your senior is telling to ignore all these malpractices. So clash of values happen. So this is going to create crisis of conscience. Your conscience is telling to do something, you are doing something else. So crisis of conscience happens. And the third is, in a long run, your work is also going to be affected. It is not going to be restricted, you are also going to be part of it. So in a long run, you are also going to be affected. These are all the negatives. The only positive is that you are obeying your hierarchical, your senior in the hierarchy, he is giving your order, he has given you orders, and you are just you just accepted the order of your hierarchy, order of hierarchy. So obeying hierarchy is the only positive thing. Again, it does not make sense. You are not here to keep your superior happy. You are here to work for the people, and it does not make obeying your hierarchy, your higher officer, by compromising with values, it does not make any sense. This is the first option. And the second option is take disciplinary actions against irregularities. See, this second option you have. Yes, you have seen the malpractices, now you can take the disciplinary action. It clearly shows that there is a moral courage and there is an integrity factor. You are not compromising your values, and there is a moral courage. You are raising your voice, and there is an integrity. That is one thing. And commitment and dedication to the statutory laws. You are questioning their malpractices, and there is clear. It shows that you are committed for the nation. You are committed for the welfare of the people. So commitment, dedication to the constitution, morality, statutory law, regulation. That is also clearly visible, right? But these are the pros. Disciplinary action you have taken, but negative is that your superior, your senior is not happy. He has given you direction to ignore it, but you are still doing it. He is not happy. The interpersonal relationship will not be good. That is one negative. Another thing is, it is not only your senior, the entire system is corrupt there. Everybody is involved in malpractices. Somewhere there will be kind of resistance in the work culture. Your colleagues are not going to be happy. So it is going to create some kind of negative work culture. That is also another con here. Immediate senior office may not be happy. This is one thing, and can create tense work environment, and you may face threats, you may face resistance in your office, in your work area. These are the pros and cons of second option. Now the third option. What third option is talking about? Make a detailed report and forward it to the department head. See, sometimes what happens, you can just tell your seniors, you can just inform your senior, but your senior is not accountable to you. Your senior does not, you don't have to listen whatever you say. There is no legal obligation. There may be moral obligation, but there is no legal obligation here. So even if you tell him to do something, he can ignore it, he can reject it. That is there. So your hands are tied, you cannot do anything. Now the only option you have is to tell it to the higher authorities. Now you make a detailed report and you forward it to the department head. So by doing this, you are finding a solution. Now the situation is, you cannot do anything. Your senior is not going to listen to you. You don't have authority to guide your senior. So your hands are tied. Now in this kind of situation, this is the best possible way. Go for a detailed report and submit to the higher authorities. And then sometimes what happens, even single-handedly dealing with these issues is not very easy, because entire department involved in malpractices, entire department, it is dishonest. So dealing with single-handedly or dealing with these kind of situation, you need some kind of legal support, moral support. These kind of report approaching the higher authorities, it is going to be a legal and moral booster for you. So you need some kind of support system, that is you are going to get with this option. But again, negatives are also there. And what are the negatives? See, the people or the colleagues who are involved in this malpractices, obviously they are not happy about it. So they are going to create hostile environment, hostile work culture. Again, you are not happy working there. And then another aspect is, you are giving that report to your higher authorities and you are expecting they are going to take action. Somewhere you are expecting, you are shifting your responsibility to your higher authorities. It clearly shows that some kind of inefficiency, incapability from your side. So this is the demerit of this particular option. And then there is a fourth option. Fourth option is that I am suggesting a transfer to some other department. Like you can take I am telling Rameshwar to take a transfer to some other department. This is also an option. Now the thing is, in a legal way, I am quitting this department. In a legal way, I am exiting this department, because I have my talent. I don't want to be in this negative work culture. I don't want to be the part of this malpractices. My talent should be used in a proper way. So it is an exit opportunity from a bad work culture. This is a positive aspect, this is a merit. And another thing is, my efficiency and talent can be utilized properly in a new department. This is what I am telling the Rameshwar. So these are the merits. What are the demerits here? Demerit is that Rameshwar go to the different department. If the same thing happens in a different department also, what is the solution? And is it possible or is it feasible to take transfer from every department? No, you have to face, someday you have to face it. Again, this is not the ultimate solution. This is not going to give you the easy exit also. So similar situation might arise in the new department. So how do you handle it? All these things. So it's better to face here only rather than taking the transfer. That is another thing. And it looks like escaping from responsibility. It also shows that lack of courage. You want to escape from it, you don't want to confront it. So lack of moral courage and lack of responsibility. So these are the demerits of the fourth option. Now finally, question asks you that which option do you think is the best? What option should be adopted? See, my suggestion is that go through with the third option. make a detailed report and forward it to the department head. And I also, one more thing I want to add to the third point is that make it official only. See, if it's informal or unofficial, it can be rejected. If it is official, everything will be in the official channel. Everything, they are accountable. Even your higher authorities are accountable, and they have to take a stand. They have to rectify this thing. So make it through the official channel. This is one thing. Along with this, make this report through official channel. And another thing is, there are two negative aspects. We thought there will be hostile environment, work culture, all these things. See, I have taken an oath for the Constitution of India. I am not here to make my superiors, make my colleagues happy. I am here to work for the people. My commitment is for the country. My commitment is for the welfare of the citizen. So I am not going to compromise that with anything else. So third option is the best way. First, I'll handle myself and I'll give the, since my hands are tied, I am giving this report in an official channel. Now it is in official channel. I am also one among the stakeholders there. I am not completely giving the responsibility. I am not completely taking my responsibility or handling over to other people. No. Now it is in official channel. I am also part of, I am also stakeholder of this report. So I will also be part of it. I am handling my responsibility here. So third option is the best one. Only thing is, report should go through official channel. Right? So this would cover the case studies. And final case study we have. Go through with this case study. I will be back. Read the questions. I will be back. So what is the case study is talking about? It is about migration of rural people to the urban areas. This is the case study here. Now the first part, it is asking, can you analyze this problem in detail and indicate not only socio-economic but also emotional attitudinal factors. The emotional and attitudinal factor responsible for this migration. This is first part of the case studies. You have to answer this. Then there are 3 cases have been given and you have to give the reasons for it. Let's start from emotional and attitudinal factors responsible for urban migration from rural areas. See, let's get into that. Emotional and attitudinal factors responsible for this See, usually what happens in the rural area, a lot of very strict social regulation is there. So strict social regulation, and this strict social regulation, it gives that sense of deprivation. The regulation is with respect to the caste based, class based, a lot of restriction is there. You don't see these social regulation in urban areas. The Kap Panchayat and the village Panchayat, they have the significant control over the population, and people have to listen to them. Either or else there will be social boycott. These kind of things will be there. So these strict social regulation, this gives that factor of sense of deprivation to a section of the people. That is the reason people want to migrate to the urban areas, and there will be inequality, social inequality, economic inequality, and political inequality. So it is prevalent in rural areas because of the social, economic, political inequality, and there is a discrimination also. This is also another factor that is driving these people towards urban areas, leaving rural areas, moving towards urban areas. And restriction on socio-economic freedom. Yes, even marriage, caste based marriages, even occupations are also restricted. So certain occupations are restricted to certain castes. So these kind of restrictions, there is no socio-economic freedom. Because of these restrictions on socio-economic freedom, also people want to have a better lifestyle. So people, they don't want to live in this restricted area. So that is also another reason people from rural areas, they are moving towards urban areas. And finally, the factor of injustice is also there. So because of these regulations, factor of injustice, there are historical factor, cultural factor, because of educational discrepancies, whatever the reason is, factor of injustice is there. Because of these reasons, people from a rural area, they are migrating towards urban area, urban regions, right? This is the causes actually, the emotional and attitudinal factors responsible for this problem, right? Now there are 3 questions have been mentioned here. The first is, why educated rural youths are trying to shift to the urban areas. So first question, talking about educated rural youths, why are they giving to the, so this is educated rural youths, why are they moving towards urban areas? 4 reasons have been mentioned here. The first is that there is a sense of freedom from caste based hierarchy in urban areas. Urban areas, we don't have this strict caste based hierarchy, caste based discrimination, distinction. So sense of freedom is there in the urban area. So for that sense of freedom, they are moving towards, they want to go towards urban area, and there will be more opportunities. More opportunity, it means that if I am getting more opportunities, the sense of empowerment I get, and this sense of empowerment leads to the optimism. So more optimism because of more opportunities. So for this reason also, the youth want to go to the urban areas. And gender equality, and especially women, feeling of empowerment, because there are opportunity and you can work for it, you can earn your livelihood. So there is a supporting factor. So sense of empowerment, feeling of empowerment, and gender equality factors. Because of this reason also, rural area, the migration, they want to shift to the urban area, especially we are talking from the youth perspective. And respect and recognition of talent. If you have talent, it is respected in this private sector, and if you have these capabilities, it is accepted, even it is rewarded. But the case is not the same in rural areas. So because of this respect, because of this recognition of the talent and capabilities, the youth want to go to the urban region. So these are the 4 factors that are responsible for the educated youth, rural youth, move towards the urban region. So this is one thing. And the next aspect is, the next question, why landless poor people are migrating to the urban slum. Now this is with respect to landless poor. See, these landless poor, they are ready to go to the slum. Even in the rural area, they have their home, and at least the living conditions are fine, but still they are compromising with that. They want to go to the urban region. What is the reason? What are the ethical factors responsible for it? See, better economic opportunities reduces inequality. A lot of inequality, I told you that. And another aspect is, everything is stagnant in rural areas, and because of the stagnant, they want to come out of it. In urban areas, opportunities are better. When you have better opportunities, there will be more economic benefits for you. So better economic opportunity, it reduces economic inequality. For that they are ready to compromise with living in slum also. So better economic opportunities, mainly it is going to reduce the inequality. For that reason the landless poor, they want to go to the urban areas. And in rural areas most probably it is agriculture based job opportunities, but in urban areas diverse livelihood options are there. So they can construction worker, all these, I am talking about very low level. Here they are talking about landless poor going to the slum. So construction worker, these kind of different opportunities are there, livelihood alternative diverse livelihood options are there. This is the reason they are going there. It is not only restricted to agriculture. In agriculture what happens, it is only during the monsoon or only when there is a water, it is based on the climate, it is based on the weather. But here it is not the case. You have the opportunities 365 days. So alternative opportunities are available, and no strict caste based restriction on employment. In rural areas it is still there, caste based restrictions on employment, it is still prevalent. This is not there in the urban areas. That's the reason they want to go to the urban areas. And better income increases the financial security. Financial security gives that optimism, financial security enhances your confidence. So better income, it is increases the financial security. For that reason also the landless poor, they want to move to the urban areas. So these are the 4 reasons. And the next is that the next question talks about even some farmers selling off their lands and trying to settle in urban areas taking petty job. So even farmers also, they are selling the land and they want to settle down in the urban areas, even if they are ready to do the small jobs. Why is it that? What is the reason? What are the factors behind it? The first and foremost aspect here is that, see, agricultural profitability has decreased. The farmer suicide has become a very regular affair now. So because of all these things, now they don't have that financial capability and they are looking for a new hope. And the urban area, it is a new hope. It has a new employment opportunity, better financial security, and there is no debt. All these usually what happens, agriculture, they are dependent on rainfall, they are dependent on water, they are dependent on electricity, and on top of it, if they don't get the proper pricing, there is no point of doing it. So because of these issues, they want to leave this, they want to sell their land, they want to go to the urban areas, and urban areas acts as a new hope. So we are answering from ethical perspective. So urban areas, it is a new hope for the land, even for these farmers also. And then it is a stagnant life in rural areas. And another thing is the debt. Usually what happens, even to get that debt in a formal channel from a bank, it is very difficult. Usually you take debts from a unofficial channel and interest rate will be very high. You are stuck in that debt circle only. So to come out of it, you need better social economic lifestyle, and this migration is towards better socio-economic lifestyle. So that is another aspect. And finally, in urban areas, infrastructure will be better, whether it is healthcare, with education. For them, it is healthcare, transport, all these things. Even for the children, there will be better education opportunities, and they are thinking about their settling their children, giving the better employment opportunities. And so most of the Indians, we have that mindset. Even if we have to compromise something, if we are ready to do compromise for our sake of children. If children get that better education, we are ready to compromise with our happiness. So for that matter also, for better educational opportunities for children, they are ready to shift, they are ready to migrate to the urban area. So better infrastructure, better education opportunities for the children. So this is the reason even the farmers, they are ready to go to the urban areas, even to do the petty jobs. And finally, how do you control this phenomena, and what are the feasible steps you can do? How do you control it? See, my suggestion will be, if you look all these aspects, one thing I've realized is you have to focus on financial aspect, you have to focus on social aspect, you have to focus on infrastructural aspect. These 3 are very important. So first is finances. So finances create more financial opportunities, give them more opportunities. So first is opportunity. and work towards financial equality. And even they not only equality, financial security should also be there. So work towards financial security. So the first way of addressing is focusing on finance aspect. Financial opportunities, focus on financial equality, focus on financial security, right? The second aspect is that social aspect. And in that social aspect, the caste based discrimination, class based discrimination is there. So the social inequality has to be removed. So class and caste discrimination should be eliminated. That should be eliminated. And I told you that a very strong social regulation is there. That has to be get rid of this. Socio-economic freedom should be there. Social freedom should be there. So focus on social freedom. And there should be a social cohesion in the rural area. Social cohesion is talking about brotherhood, the sense of brotherhood or the sense of security, the social security, that should be there. So focus on social cohesion. And finally, infrastructure is also another factor. That is also another reason people are migrating towards urban areas. So infrastructure, better infrastructure, maybe health facilities, transport, electricity, education. These infrastructure should be focused. And there is a concept of Pura. Pura is given by Abdul Kalam. It is providing urban amenities in rural areas. Implement these kind of problems in an efficient way. Connectivity factor, education factor, and healthcare system. If you have this strong these kind of infrastructure, there is no necessity to move towards the urban area. So work on this infrastructure. And finally, there is one more aspect you cannot ignore. The aspect is political. Usually what happens, these small villages, political leaders ignore these villages because these are not significant vote banks. So that is also a reason when you are not politically empowered, you are ready to leave that place. See, when you have a strong political background, political representative, somewhere there will be someone to listen to your problems. So create this political leadership, give that connectivity factor between political representatives and these small villages. That is also another option where political empowerment happens. You are empowering them financially, you are empowering them socially, you are empowering them infrastructure wise, and the final is empower them politically also. So by doing this, the migration can be reduced to a very large extent, right? So this finishes all the case studies of 2014 ethics paper. I think we have covered almost all the questions, almost all the topics of this paper. And thank you for listening. I will see you guys in the next video 2015 previous year question paper analysis. Thank you for listening. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Have a good time.